Hi, everyone. My name is Kent Lutz, and I've been a high school basketball official here in the state of Utah for the last 20 years or so. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about off-ball officiating. I know that there's a lot of challenges as officials. We have to deal with coaches and know the rules, shot clocks, game clocks, a lot of different scenarios that come up as an official. However, the most challenging perhaps is off-ball officiating. As we've watched basketball throughout our lifetime, the ball is a key component to whether or not a team wins or loses. However, as an official, we're asked to officiate not the ball for a considerable amount of the game. Off-ball officiating really is a key component in officiating in general. So what does it take to become a good off-ball official? Well, we're going to talk about a couple key elements here that help us be better off-ball officials. First and foremost, it takes good positioning. We need to be in the right position to be able to officiate the plays as they come to us. We need to adjust to make sure that we have open looks. The second thing is we need to be aware. You've probably heard when you're hiking to be bear aware. Well, we're talking about being ball aware, recognizing the shot clock and the game clock, the different scenarios that are coming up, and not getting caught ball watching. Number 3 and number 4 kind of go hand in hand. We really need to focus on our primary coverage area. But what happens when there are no players in our primary coverage area? In that case, we seek out opportunities to officiate the next competitive matchup in our area. Remember, we're referees, we're officiating players, not just lines on the floor or imaginary lines on the floor. So let's start off with a good example of positioning. You can see in a quick snapshot that all three of these officials in this snapshot are in good positioning. But what I really like about this crew, and I watched a lot of game film to come up with this, because there's not a lot of crews that do as good of a job as this crew did in this game. I love how as they transition from one to the other, one position to the other, as the new or the old trail becomes the new lead, they don't turn their bodies and just run to the other end of the court and forget about the players. A lot of referees I see take a play off or take at least a moment off as they transition to their new locations on the court. This crew doesn't do that. They do a fantastic job of keeping their bodies open to the play. As here a turnover comes, and you'll watch Trell as he transitions to the new lead, keeps his body open and is in perfect position to officiate the next play. Conversely, after the block shot, that Trell turns her body and officiates the entire play all the way until she gets to lead. And throughout the entirety of it, center is consistently adjusting to the plays and the players on the court to officiate off ball. Fantastic job by this crew. In fact, it was poetry in motion. I mentioned also being court aware. Now, this is probably the best example I could find of being aware out there on the court. Center is in a position to be off ball, and there's not really a whole lot of action going on over in his side of the court opposite of us. He's over there. He does officiate off ball, but most importantly, he's aware of the shot clock. So as this play develops, he knows how much time is on the shot clock so he can help his crew out. As the play gets passed down here into the post, and as this player turns to throw the ball back, the ball will ricochet off the rim. C is very aware of the scenario and immediately blows his whistle, stops play, comes over and talks to his partner on the opposite side of the court to verify that it was a pass and not a shot. And she says, absolutely, that was a pass. We need to set it at 14 because that's where it was. And they do a fantastic job of being aware as an off-ball official of knowing the scenario that's given them. Fantastic job by that crew. As I mentioned earlier, oftentimes we get caught watching the ball. In this case, it's even more tempting when the ball's bouncing on the rim. But Lee doesn't fall for that trap. He stays with his primary players and gets the rebound foul when Gray 34, I believe, no, 42 pushes White 1, as you can see in the replay. We'll play it one more time for you because it's a great example of Lee staying with the play despite the fact that Perhaps you get caught watching other things. He stays with his primary players and officiates all the way to the end. Great job by Lead. Here's another example of Lead doing a great job of officiating the rebound. A lot of off ball will come from the rebound position. Lead does a great job here. As a shot goes up, he officiates the rebound and gets the call appropriately. He has a little hard time figuring out where the ball is after he reports, but as far as getting the off ball stuff, he did a fantastic job out there. This play has chaos written all over it. To set the stage here, it's a packed house. Obviously, as you can see, everybody's eyes are on the game with the exception of maybe this lady right here who's watching for her son or something else, who knows. But it's the last 20 seconds of the first quarter. You have coaches yelling, chaos going on out there on the court as they're trying to set up their offensive set and the defense is trying to position themselves accordingly. What I really like about this play is watch C, as though it's not in his primary coverage area, as the screen comes on the ball, he adjusts to make sure he can see it all the way through. Great no call. And then Lead gets the rebound foul there in the post. And I'll play it one more time for you because this crew does a great job of officiating it from start to finish. As the play develops, C will make the adjustment to be able to see the entire play, and Lead officiates off ball on the rebound as White 1 pulls Blue 23 to the ground before the expiration of the clock. As a crew, they come together, verify that the foul occurred before the expiration of the game clock, and administer things correctly. Great job by that crew. As I watched film, there were a lot of no calls on off ball, but I wondered, did that referee get it right because they were watching the play and was a fantastic no call? Or did they get it right because they were watching ball and it just happened to be that they weren't watching the no call that should occur? In this example, I'm 100% confident that C is in great position. And as the screen is set right in front of him, he saw this play all the way through, and great no call by that C official on the off ball play there. Let's show it one more time. As he positions himself greatly to see the offensive players establish herself and set the screen and not leave early. Here's a great example of an illegal screen by White and center being on top of it. He doesn't get caught watching ball. He's stayed focused in his primary coverage area and gets the illegal screen here by White 11. Fantastic job. Here's another great example of C. As most cases, center is off ball. He does a great job as the ball is being inbounded on the other side of the key, not getting caught watching ball, and in fact gets the hold there by the interior players in the key. Great job by center here. We'll watch it one more time. Stay focused in his primary coverage area and gets the call off ball. Now, this play is a collegiate play, so it doesn't have maybe the same scenario that we would have, but the basics components that I want you to show you are relevant to our game and in the high school level. C does a great job of officiating the play, despite there's a lot of bodies in the paint. He'll have a shooter in the corner, and I want you to focus. He doesn't just bring the shooter back down to the court. He also referees the play as it's gone through the hoop. And if he misses this play, this is a key play in the game, as it was an intentional foul. Let me show you one more time. Perhaps you missed it like I did the first time around. But center does a great job of adjusting and positioning himself correctly, maintaining off ball. And as the ball comes into his primary coverage area and the ball goes out, he maintains and watches the player take a cheap shot to the shooter's face. Fantastic job by that official. Now, most of those, well, all of those plays had key components of what they did correctly. I wanted to show you a play of something that a referee didn't do so well. Despite the fact that he does a good job of officiating off ball, he's focused on it. He's not, doesn't do the greatest job of being ball aware as the player throws a cross court pass and doinks him in the chest. Perhaps that's one of my lowlights in my high school career of taking one off the chest there and not being so ball aware. However, to my credit, I was officiating off ball pretty intensely. So maybe that's why they asked me to do this video. In short, really, off ball is key to any crew's success. And in order to do that, we need to be in good position. We need to adjust and make sure that we maintain open looks. We need to be aware, not just aware of shot clock and game clock, but also aware of where our partners are and where the ball is so that we can help out our partners in any given scenario. Don't get caught ball watching. It's been said since the beginning of time, don't watch ball, especially when obviously your off ball is your primary concern. Stay in your primary coverage area and officiate the competitive matchups that are there in front of you. I'm really excited for this season, and I hope that all of us can slightly improve our off-ball officiating this year and have a great basketball season. Thanks.